Hello, how are you all doing today? I hope that everyone is doing great. So, per student request in the group, we had a student request that we start today's live with a Mark Anthony song called No Hay Nadie Como Ella. So thank you, Angie Perkins. We are going to be starting off this stream with that song thanks to you. Let me go ahead and pull it up and we will begin. Let's have a little bit of fun today, no? I had it. Alright, let me pull it up on YouTube. Spotify is actually acting weird. Alright. Yeah, I'm excited. Let's get it started. Woo, Angie, good song, girl. What is up, Gina? Who else is on? Leslie. Jessica. Welcome, welcome, Moise. All right. Prueba imaginarlo, yo convertido. All right. I just wanted to have a little bit of fun today, y'all. I just wanted to have a little bit of fun. I hope that y'all enjoyed that at least. So if there's any reason for you all to join me at the live event is just for those dance moves. If you have more salsa, just come and join me and we can dance together, get it hyped. So just come and let me know if you're able to make it to the Smart Success PT live event in May. I talked about it in the last live last week, and there's going to be tons of just fun going on at that event, as well as a lot of good content that's going to help you be successful as an occupational therapist. So with that said, I put in the comments that I wanted to talk to you guys about 5 things that I wish I would have known as a pre-OT. So the first thing that I wanted to bring up is that the number one thing that I learned before starting OT school that I wish I would have known is that your success as an OT is determined by you. And while that may sound cliche, guys, and maybe you read it in a self-help book, or maybe you have the type of parents that drill that into you, that you have that like, oh, only you can create your success. Maybe you have that, and that is great, but I'm not coming at it from that angle. Let me go ahead and just change real quick. So yeah, I'm not coming at it from that angle, guys. I'm coming at it really from a perspective of me wanting you to be happy with your career choice. Because the thing is that if you choose this profession and you're the type of person that always wants more, you may be disappointed. And I'm going to explain why. As a student, my very first clinical rotation, that's when I first realized that there really is not much room for growth within our profession. It did not take long for me to realize that, guys. So, as I continued throughout the rotation, I was faced with the reality of, okay, I am going to OT school, and this is the only thing that they're teaching me is clinical skills. They're teaching me how to take range of motion, how to do manual muscle tests, how to work with patients who have a stroke, or in a pediatric setting, children that have autism, which are a very good set of skills. But I noticed within my rotation that there was only one clinical director, and everybody else, all the OTs, had been OTs for like 20 plus years, and that was it. So I think that that is also what causes a lot of distress within our profession. And so if you're the type of person that wants more, I think you're in for a very, very, rude awakening in terms of our profession, because, we are now moving toward the doctoral route. So I'm assuming that if you're wanting to pursue occupational therapy, that you are very ambitious, that you like to set dreams and goals for yourself, and when you're just basically stuck and you can't really move up in the career ladder, that's when people start getting upset. So I am pointing that out to you because you really are the ones that hold the key to your success. I want you guys to basically realize that. And if you are the type of person, like I have a friend, for example, who I graduated with, and she basically really is content. Like all she really wants is to treat her patients and, like that's it. She doesn't really aspire to do anything more from that. She got trained to do a job, and that's all she wants. She got trained to be an occupational therapist, and that's all she wants. I was in another conundrum because I am like the type of person that can be very ambitious, and I always have wanted more for myself. And if you're that type of person, then that may be a little bit of an issue for you and something for you to consider as you think about occupational therapy. Now, I'm not telling you that occupational therapy is not for you. What I am telling you is that you may have to get a little bit creative in how it is that you define success within your career. That's going to be up to you, because if you're expecting, for to be, be successful, like none of that stuff is going to be just handed to you. You're going to have to create it, because in OT school, you're just created to do a job. That's what you're trained to do. You're trained to be an OT, and you're handed down those certain skills. What that's it. That's it. They don't tell you how to create a business and bring revenue in. They don't tell you how it is that you can even get certain specialties. They tell you about what specialties are available to you, but they don't tell you how it is that you can become, for example, a certified hand therapist. Like, you need to figure all of that out on your own, essentially. So with that said, I think the second thing that I wish somebody would have told me as a pre-OT is that I'm going to continuously set goals for myself, because as time goes on, the reason why a lot of OTs get burned out in our profession is because as students, we have a goal to get into OT school, right? And then when we are in OT school, to graduate and pass the boards. But once you are in the field, okay, now you're an OT, now what? So there's nothing for you to work towards. And you can easily end up in this, what am I doing this for type of mentality. So I just really want you guys to be very, very careful with that. And if you constantly set goals for yourself, then you are less likely to burn out, because, okay, now you're a pre-OT student. The goal is to succeed in your anatomy and physiology class. Perfect. Now, and you succeeded in those classes. Awesome. You got into OT school. That was the next goal. Awesome. Now, the next goal is pass OT school and succeed in your classes, go through field work. You did that. Awesome. You worked at that, and it should not just stop at graduation and passing the MBCOT, because then you have nothing else to work towards. And we as humans were created to always want more for ourselves. Like, unless you're just content with being a 9 to 5 therapist, then that's great. And I'm not, dogging on people that have been doing the same thing for like, the past 10 years, 20 years. But it's very different now, because what you need to think about is that those therapists, they graduated with a bachelor's. Right now, people are getting doctorates. So the mentality, I think, is a little bit different. People are thinking, oh, I am getting into a doctoral degree and this is what I'm doing, so it's kind of creating a little bit of a shift. So that's really my point. And if you're going to succeed within this profession, you need to continuously be setting goals for yourself. After you graduate from OT school, okay, the next thing is what? Okay, get a job. Now, what certification am I going to get? It keeps you continuously in the field. It keeps you continuously working towards something. It keeps your eye on the prize. And it keeps you from getting discontent and feel like you're stuck in the profession. Like, what am I doing this for? Like, what's the point? I'm not moving forward. I'm not, a clinical director, because there's only one clinical director in each setting. So, just keep those things in mind. The third thing that I wish somebody would have told me as a pre-OT is that, not everyone is going to believe in your dream. And I think that, one of the biggest things that we can do as just humans is let people determine our our success in a way, because, and even, we let them tell us, look, you have failed this class. You can't do that. You're not going to succeed as an OT, maybe because, maybe you believe that you're too small or something to be doing transfers. Or maybe you just believe that you're not going to be successful as an OT because of past failures that you have had, maybe with interacting with people or patients during your student fieldwork scenarios. So there's a lot of things that can lead others to not believe in you. But that really, at the end of the day, should not matter, because you're the one that owns the dream. And the responsibility to make that dream become a reality is yours. So, it's very saddening for me when I see that, we let other people opinions and, expectations affect our future as a clinician or as a student. So not everyone is going to believe in your dream or what you can do, and that is perfectly fine. Okay, you guys need to accept that, because you guys need to own that dream, and that is your responsibility, not theirs. And the fourth thing that I learned that I wish I would have known as a pre-OT is that I am going to encounter people that are going to skew my view of the profession. So I need to continuously be careful with who I surround myself with. Okay, there are people that are going to elevate me and are going to encourage me in what I'm doing, and are going to tell me, look, you are going to do great things with OT Genius, keep on going, keep on pushing. And then there are going to be people that, when maybe I am not feeling, maybe, for example, at my best, and maybe, for example, I am seeing that I'm not getting a certain response from the audience, or whatever it is that I'm looking for within the group, or maybe I'm trying to get, I attempted to get in touch with Magoosh, for example, to get y'all GRE prep stuff for you guys, but that so far has not worked out. I could stop. I could literally like, have someone, you know what, Jessica, what you're doing with OT Genius is not really obviously working. Like, you're talking with Magoosh and that didn't work out, like, you should really just kind of stop, like, and when I'm like, that's what I'm thinking, like, and I'm down in the dumps maybe, right? And they're validating my thoughts. Can you imagine that? Like, if I actually were to listen to them, or I can surround myself with people that are going to push me toward my goal and help me make what I have envisioned for this become a reality. So be very careful with who you surround yourself with, because there are a lot of people too as well that their view of the profession has been skewed, and it's for the reasons that I have mentioned earlier in this video. They have they feel stuck within the profession, they feel burnt out, and they, quite honestly, as harsh as this sounds, have no one else to blame but themselves. They really don't. So if they were to basically take a hold of their career and try to figure out and ask the right questions of how it is that they can take it up to the next level, then maybe they wouldn't feel stuck. Maybe if they were to not have been fearful and they would have opened up that own business like they wanted to, they wouldn't feel stuck and burnt out, because it would be working within what they want. If they didn't feel stuck in peds and they always wanted to be in geriatrics, but they were too scared to leave that setting because they've been in peds for so long, they're going to feel stuck. They're going to burn out. So whose fault is that at the end of the day? It's their fault. And though they probably surrounded with themselves with people who were validating their feelings, no, you know what? It's probably better if you don't open up that business, because, what if it fails? Maybe it is better if you stick in peds, but although you want to go to geriatrics, because you've been in peds for so long that geriatrics may be a little bit too difficult for you to handle. There's just so much. So I really encourage you to be very careful who it is that you surround yourself with, because they're gonna be the people helping you reach your goals, or they're going to be bringing you down. So that's number 4. Now, the last thing I wish I would have learned as a pre-occupational therapy student is that success always demands more. Success is just always demanding more, because it just never seems to stop, guys. You accomplish one goal, right? And if you're an ambitious person and you want to be successful within, quote unquote, successful within this field, it's going to demand something more. Now, if you are successful with being a 9-to-5 therapist, then after you graduate and you pass your boards, then that's it. You hit your goal. Live your life, do your job. Awesome. If that's what you truly, truly want, and, there's nothing wrong with that, then perfect. But I want you to understand that success always wants more and demands more. So if that's what you want, then you need to think starting now how it is that you can create that for yourself, as even a pre-OT, so you can learn the skills necessary to advance your career to the next level, and start thinking about what is it going to take for you to be successful in this career. Because if you're not okay with just being that 9-to-5 therapist, then, like I said earlier in this video, you're in, I think, for a very rude awakening. If you expect more because you're getting a doctorate or because you have a master's and it's this fancy degree that you're getting, it's just something I really, really want you to think about. If you have any comments, please put it down in the chat, or feel free to message me. I will go ahead and respond, and I hope to see you in the next live next week, Monday at 8:30. I also want to just share with you all that, last but not least, I have officially started also a membership group. I'm going to be sharing the link down in the comment section. If the membership group is something that you are interested in, you're going to get access to weekly anatomy labs. You'll have access to weekly calls with me and much more. You'll have access to the personal statement class that's already been built online. You'll have access to that class. So I'm going to put the link down below. Message me if you want more information, and I will catch you next week. Bye.